Hey, what's up, classic TV fans? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about I Love Lucy, more specifically about Lucy's hidden talent having to do with the toaster. Now, I know a lot of you might think, what in the world is this? And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised and remember some great moments from the show. But before we get into it, I'm doing a special giveaway, a very special one. This is what I'm going to be giving away. It's a pretty amazing little commemorative gift here, something that you can enjoy for yourself, give to your children, grandchildren, friends, family. But I would keep it myself. It's a commemorative $2 bill. Now, it's legal tender. This is actually real money, but what's really cool is you can see in the details imprinted on it is basically a scene from I Love Lucy. It is colored. It's in the bill itself, so you can go physically to cashier and let's say use this, but you can also keep it in this case, and it's a collectible. It's something that you can use, and on the left hand side there's a certificate of authenticity. I'm going to give it away to one of the lucky winners. You have to pay nothing. It is a free gift from me to help, just to have you guys support the channel. It's my way of giving thanks. How do you win it? Well, you have to watch the whole video to see how you can win. Now, Lucille Ball has many talents, even phobias that have been written about and talked about. I've even talked about them on the channel. But here's one that I think is very hidden, and it's something that pretty much no one has really talked about up until now. And that is her talent with the toaster, that is catching toast. You may think, what is that about? Well, she does it in several episodes of I Love Lucy. I'm going to give you a couple of examples here, 4 total examples, 3 examples of her doing it, and then another example of Desi Arnaz doing it. And he almost fails, but he essentially succeeds. I'm going to talk about them, kind of mix them up, no particular order. The first one comes from season 1. It's from the episode Lucy Plays Cupid. Now, this is probably one of my least favorite I Love Lucy episodes. It's the one with Bea Benaderet and Edward Everett Horton. Now, in this one, Lucy delivers a romantic note from her shy neighbor, the elderly Miss Lewis, to the grocer, played by Edward Everett Horton. Now, the grocer thinks that Lucy is the one who's interested in him. Chaos ensues, and she's the one who has to pretend that she's poor and make herself undesirable. But at the end, of course, Miss Lewis and the grocer, they do get together at the end. But right in the beginning of the episode, when Ricky and Lucy are in the kitchen, they're talking about Miss Lewis, and Lucy's right next to the toaster. She hits the back of the toaster, and instantly the piece of toast flies up in the air, higher than how she's sitting. So it's pretty high up there. I'd say 6, 7, maybe 8 feet. And she catches it with one hand like it was nothing. The crowd even reacts to it. It's one of the first times we see her do this on the show, and it's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool. Now, let me tell you, there is some sort of talent to do this, because not anyone could do this. You have to be pretty agile. You have to have good hand-eye coordination, and it seems like she definitely has it. Now, we know from books and records that I Love Lucy was rehearsed a lot, and I'm not surprised if she had rehearsed this to perfection. But then again, there is a difference between not getting your line right in a show, but then catching something that's in the air and grabbing it right when they're filming. Now, I'm sure they could have redone the filming in case she dropped it, but that was never something that they wanted to do on I Love Lucy. So good for her to be able to do this in that episode in one take. Continuing on in the episode The Young Fans, this is also from season 1. It's the one with Janet Waldo and Richard Crenna playing the young fans, or the young little couple that become infatuated with Ricky and Lucy. Again, this is possibly one of my least favorite episodes, so I won't get too much into detail about it, but it's the one where Ricky and Lucy dress up as old folk and they try to creep out the young folk, essentially, and then Lucy has her dentures that she pulls out and all this. She tries to basically scare them, but there's one point where also Ricky and Lucy are in the kitchen. Ricky is talking about how annoying Peggy is, that she follows him everywhere, and again, similar to what Lucy did, he hits the back of the toaster. The toast pops up, 6, 7, 8 feet. He tries to catch it with his left hand and actually fails. If you look, it hits him somewhere in the fingers, maybe the first couple fingers, and it bounces around to the area of his right hand where he grips a piece of toast, and he does pretty well the second time at grabbing it. especially since he failed the first time, but he did it in one take, if that makes sense. So it's not like he did it multiple times or that he dropped it on the floor. So that was pretty good. This is the one exception to what I'm showing. I'm just showing another scene where, you know, Desi does something similar. I'm sure he had to practice, but he didn't do as good as Lucy's 3 times. I showed you one, here are the other 2 times that Lucy does this. Now in this one, I think this was one of my favorites from season 1. It's a great episode from season 1. It's the one where Ricky thinks he's getting bald. That's the actual name of the episode. It's still from season 1, and that's where Lucy gives Ricky the scalp treatment. He thinks he's going bald, and she's doing all these gooey, icky, sticky things to him. And this is about the point where Ricky goes into the kitchen and he's wearing a hat in the kitchen. Lucy kind of makes fun of him like, hey, why are you wearing a hat in the kitchen? Something gonna fall on you? And the whole joke is that he doesn't want people to see him, even her, that he's going bald, which is totally untrue. It's just him being a little paranoid about it. But what happens is Lucy puts a derby on to kind of make fun of him. And when the toast is ready, what she does the same thing where she hits the back of the toaster. The toast goes flying up several feet into the air. She catches it in the derby. So she adds another level of difficulty to it because she's not grabbing it. She's catching it with another object that she's holding, the derby. Again, she must have practiced this, yes, but that doesn't mean there's going to be complete success in one take when you actually do the filming with a live studio audience, which is what happened in this episode. I think it's great, and she hands it to Ricky and she just keeps that stone cold face. I mean, she keeps in character and it's just wonderful. Such a great moment, and she's showing off her great hand-eye coordination. I mean, this is an amazing hidden talent that Lucy had. Did you ever notice this? Let me show you the last example. Now, we could say that the derby one is the best example, or this one. They're both very skilled. And with this one, this is from one of the most popular episodes ever of I Love Lucy. It was called Job Switching. You know what it was. It was the chocolate episode, right? Where her and Ethel are in the chocolate factory, putting all of the candies in their mouths and trying to wrap them and so forth. And even the boys are back at the apartment making a mess of things, trying to cook a good dinner for everyone. And what is great is this is around the beginning of the episode where Lucy is looking for a job. This is before she goes to the candy factory or the chocolate factory. And she's pretending to ignore Ricky, almost like he does every morning. And so Ricky tries to bug her by getting the toast and launching it at her. That is above the newspaper. What does she do? She doesn't miss a beat. She almost doesn't even look at the toast and grabs it in midair. I mean, she was served toast by someone else. It was launched at her live while the cameras are rolling, and she did it in one take. Again, 3 times, and I think this is probably the best one. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite out of all of these 4 that I showed you, even the Desi example. Now, I'm fairly sure that she did it more times in other episodes. Let me know in the comments below what episode, if you know for sure though, if you know for absolute sure, because some people say maybe in this one, maybe in this one. No, if you remember for sure, let me know and I may do a follow-up episode with those. And I know a lot of you want to know how to win the commemorative $2 bill. Remember, this is a special collector's item. It hasn't been touched. It's technically in mint condition. It's new and I haven't touched it or anything. It's in protective plastic and so forth. Here's what you have to do. I'm going to pick a winner, but in order to be eligible, you have to be subscribed. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button on this video, and in the comments down below, you need to write Lucy's Toast. Lucy's Toast. As long as you have that in your comment, write whatever else you want and you will be eligible. Finally, you have to do this so that I am able to get in contact with you when I pick the random winner, and that is click the link in the description of this video, not in the comments. Don't email about me this. I won't respond because there's a link in the description I provided for you. Just hit the arrow below the video. It'll open up. First link, first blue link you see, click there. It's going to ask you for mailing address and so forth. That's confidential for me so that I know where to send the DVD. Good luck to everyone. I will announce it on YouTube in the community page, and I will also be announcing the winners of the previous giveaways very, very soon. So stay tuned. Winners have already been picked. We'll see you next time, and don't forget, be hopeful. Thank you to everyone for the support, especially my Diamond tier patrons: Citizen Kane 359, David D, Greg S, Kevin K, Ricky, Sally N, Ulysses the P, and Vito L. If you want to join the Patreon family, links are in the description. Thank you.